Okay, hi everybody, Mr. Teich here, and we are going to look at a problem that you might remember from, let's see, Monday. I think we looked at this on Monday. Sine of u, we know what sine of u is, we know what cosine of v is. Two different angles, u and v, and they're both in quadrant 3. And we are going to find the tangent of the sum of them. So, the important thing to note right off the bat, we don't know what this is, we don't know what this is. We don't know what these angles are, and we don't need to know what those angles are in order to do this. So, who cares, right? We don't know what they are, we don't need to know what they are. But we are going to still be able to find the tangent of u plus v. So let's just, this is what we're doing. Put it right there. Okay, now, in order to find this, first we should probably look on our identities page, that nice toolkit you guys have. And when you look there, you'll find that the tangent of the sum of two angles is equal to, if we take one tangent plus the other tangent, all right, and divide all that by 1 minus the product of the tangents. Okay, so if we know, in other words, if we know what the tangent of u is, and we know what the tangent of v is, then we're going to be able to plug it in, and plug in here, and everything will get plugged in, and we'll be able to evaluate all that. Okay, but we don't know yet what those are. We don't know what tangent of u is, and we don't know what tangent of v is, at least not yet. So we're going to have to use this information in order to figure that out. So first we need to construct a triangle here, a right triangle with our angle u, and we're going to say this angle has, as you can see here, the angle has a sine of -7/25. Now the negative's not that important just yet. Okay, so let's say we just put a +7 here and a +25 here, because a triangle, you know, it can't really have a negative side length, so it wouldn't make very much sense for us to have a -7 there. And it's not going to matter in the end anyway whether we make that a negative or positive. So we'll leave it as 7. So now we do the Pythagorean theorem. We call this side b, or whatever you like. 7 squared plus b squared equals 25 squared. So this is now 49 plus b squared equals 625. Take that away. B squared is 576. And we take the square root of that, and b is 24. Okay. So this other side here, and I shouldn't have put in a square there. It's not b squared on that side, it's just b. It's a bad habit I've been getting into. Anyway, I don't have to write b either. I can say this is 24. Okay. So now, I can go up here and say, I've got my u, so I go up here and say, what is the tangent of u? Well, I know what that is now because I've got all three sides, right? And I know that tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So I can do the opposite and the adjacent. And in this case, that's 7/24. Now, maybe at this point you're actually wondering, why is it 7/24 and not -7/24? After all, we did have to change one of these values here from positive, or from negative to positive a minute ago. We said we should just leave it as a positive. Well, you see where it says that we are dealing only with angles in quadrant 3. Okay, angle u is in quadrant 3, angle v is in quadrant 3. So what that tells you is that the tangent of u must be positive, because all angles in quadrant 3 have a positive tangent. The same thing is true with v. Okay, the tangent of v also will be positive. So this now is my tangent of my u, so I'm going to plug that in here and here. Okay, and I'm going to do that in a minute, not just yet. Okay, not yet. So before I do that, let me get my tangent of v. So we'll make another triangle. Now notice V here is a different angle, and we can think of it as an angle in a different triangle, and we probably should. It's not necessarily going to go together with U. So we have a cosine of -4/5. So again, we'll do 4 for the adjacent, 5 for the hypotenuse. And you may know, you can do Pythagorean theorem if you want to, but you may know that the other leg is then going to be 3. Okay. So now, so again, we want the tangent. We want to know what this is. So what is the tangent of V? Tangent opposite over adjacent is 3/4. Okay. So now we have everything we need to go ahead with the plugging in. So we're going to use this thing right here. We're going to use that. And now I'm going to say tangent. Now here's a bad habit. If you feel like you're now compelled to put in tangent of 7/24 plus 3/4, boy, you're really thinking about this wrong, because those are not the angle measures. This is the tangent of U plus V, and we have not determined that U is 7/24, and we have not determined that V is 3/4. Those do not go there, so don't write them there. We don't, like we said at the beginning, we don't know what U is. We don't know what V is. Leave them as U and V. What we do know is the tangent of U, and the tangent of U is here. Tangent of U is 7/24. The tangent of V is 3/4. So now I'm just plugging in here for these parts. Okay, and then on the bottom, 1 minus tangent of U times tangent of V is going to be the product of the two. All right. Okay, getting there. All right, why don't I shrink down again. So this, okay, so I'm going to need some common denominators here. All right, so I'll multiply by 6 on top and bottom, and I'll get 18 over 24. And on the bottom here, I have 1 minus 21 over 96 if I multiply. And so continuing this, I would have 25 over 24 all over. Now here, I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to make it into 96 over 96. So here I have 96 minus 21 over 96. So that would be what, 75? Yes, over 96. Okay. So we do our keep change flip because we're dividing by a fraction. And instead of getting big numbers here, I am going to reduce. I'm going to say this right here reduces to, if I divide by 25, I have 1 and 3. And this right here, if I divide by 24, by God, I get a 4 and a 1. So this then, I can see, is just going to simplify to 4/3. And that is all there is to it. So once again, we don't know U, we don't know V, we don't need to know them because we can figure out the tangent of U, the tangent of V, using these pieces of information here. And by doing that, we get the value of tangent of U plus V. All right.